So, as far as Garo Hills is concerned, it has come to my knowledge that Garo Hills is no exception either. The situation is further exacerbated due to the adaptation of the ALRR 1886 by the GHEDC. This has resulted in the conflict between the customary practices and the Assam Land and Revenue Regulation 1886, which was adopted and enforced by the GHEDC in the plain areas of Garo Hills. So in the case of Garo Hills, land has been classified into two categories. Firstly, the hilly lands, and secondly, the plain lands. The hilly lands are controlled and managed by the customary beliefs and practices of the Garo community, whereas the plain lands are governed by the provision of the Assam Land Revenue Regulation Act of 1886, adopted by the Garo Hills District Council since its inception. So the hilly land is known also as the Aking land or the clan land. The concept of is based on the inalienable and complete rights of the Aking chief or the Nokma with the members of the Chra and Mahari to act as custodian and guardian of the land. So it is found that the traditional land tenure system provides land to all members of the community, and this has, as I've been told, has knit them together, sir. So the sale of community land is not allowed. An individual household would use the land according to their need or as per the Jam cycle. So a distinctive feature of the traditional communal land tenure system is the role of the community in controlling and managing land, particularly for shifting cultivation. So the management of Aking land is done by the Nokma. He is the leader of the clan and acts as the manager. The Nokma does not enjoy the right of ownership and cannot inherit property since the Garo society is matrilineal. So the members of the clan can use Aking land without paying any rent. And a Garo from another Aking land does not enjoy the same right. It is an Aking-specific right of land use. So, and there are some changes in the land tenure system of Garo Hills. The Aking land, which were traditionally used for jam cultivation, but after the Indian independence, the GHEDC introduced the Garo Hills District Annual Fees Act 1960 for regulating and assessing the collection of Aking land fees. Timber extraction and all other forests produced are regulated by this act. Accordingly, the arrangement was made that the Nokma collect 25% and the rest 75% is accredited to the council. So, sir, the changes in control, management, and use of the Aking land have accentuated and contributed to conflict among members of the traditional institutions of Garo tribe. The new situation in and around Tura has also created confusion about the rights of the elders of the owner lineage and also about the power and function of the Nokma, sir. Now, many disputes have arisen between the Nokma and the elder of the owner lineage about the appropriation of compensation amount. Further dispute have also arisen to whose consent the Nokma should take to dispose of the land. Meanwhile, sir, more and more land is being acquired by migrant families and also by the government, and a sizable portion of the territorial possession of the lineage has now gone out of its possession, sir. The factors are causing a change in the concept of land holding among the Garos and a deviation from the traditional pattern. So, sir, the changes in the customary practices of acquiring land are because of various other factors that operate concurrently. Firstly, sir, a sharp shift from jhum cultivation to permanent cultivation. Lands are acquired by reclamation from the jungle or by